It's the truth, man, the future, you know. I want to talk about this situation where you got 50 Cent's BM, Daphne Joy, and P. Diddy's X tape getting leaked out here, right? I believe it's from one of them FOs. Y'all already know how P. Diddy get down. We heard a lot about this during the P. Diddy trial. And I believe that is the main reason why 50, don't like Diddy, right? He be on Diddy's top, pause. And he put out that documentary of P. Diddy. I mean, the man got your BM in FOs. Just look. She already looking like she don't want no more smoke. Already looking like they been there at it all day. Diddy over there grabbing her. Come on, Cletus. We gonna go get it. I'm like, man, this is why I advise ladies, look, man, I believe it ain't right to be putting out videos like that of somebody without their permission. That's wrong, right? That's actually a crime. But I also believe you ladies shouldn't be putting yourself in a situation for that to even happen to you. I don't give a damn how much you think a nigga love you. And don't no nigga love you who's willing to sit there and watch you get your damn back blown out. How is that love? Most niggas I know, or every nigga I know that love this woman ain't going for no shit like that. I'ma sit there and let some nigga get with my girl while I'm just right there and shit. That ain't love. That ain't love at all. And you ladies, y'all gotta take some accountability on not putting yourself in a situation to be recorded, to be able to be put out later on. I know some of them be young and hiding the pants and with the shits and loving the moment. Let's keep it a buck. They be loving the moment. They be with it. They be wanting to party. They be wanting to hang with the billionaire, the millionaire. They be wanting to collect the check. They be wanting to get the bag. They be wanting to be in the mix. And then when something like this happens, they get the boo-hooing and they get the, feeling embarrassed and things like that. Never do anything that you're not going to be okay with being put out there that later on you're going to feel some type of way and feel embarrassed, because that's what usually happens, right? Now, like I said, I don't believe it's right to do that. You had Daphne basically responding to that, claiming she was in love, and you was in love. You was in love with a nigga trying to get you to participate in FOs. You in love with a nigga that got a bunch of hoes. These joints something else, ain't they? That ain't love. Just say you was in love with the lifestyle. You was in love with the money. You was in love with the clout. You was in love with being around Diddy. You was in love with being on the yacht. You was in love with being in the mansion. You was in love with being in the mix. So you chose to participate in things to please them. Who knows? Some of these joints say that, but at the time, they was probably with it. Now, Daphne made this statement, this long statement about the situation. Let me read that statement. Everybody plays fool sometime, and I have been the biggest fool. I just wanted my man at the time to be happy and satisfied. Girl, that was not your man. Boy got a bunch of hoes in the FO. You talking about my man. I wanted to fulfill all his desires. First of all, that's a red flag. A grown man desire who's supposed to be your man is watching you get your back blown out. I don't know if that's too many grown men desires, okay? That's actually grown men nightmares, okay? Even if that meant breaking my own boundaries. I deeply loved him, and I believed he loved me too. Girl, well, you was believing wrong. It's still so painful for me to process the harsh reality and truth of that relationship. But as the time passes and in my quiet moments, I realize that it wasn't far from love. I bet you do. I bet you do now. The recent leak was a tape I never consented to be filmed on while being filmed on. I was blackmailed by the person in the video, and I was threatened that if I didn't give him the lump sum of money, that they would leak it on the web. And why he asking you for money? Diddy was the one with the money. What money Daphne got? Because like, look, I'ma need that child support check 50 sending me. I almost give in to this demand, and once I didn't, this person eventually sold this tape to a giant media outlet. The media outlet called me one day and said they had the tape and asked if I had any comment before the release. Damn! Well, if you didn't give him consent, wouldn't all that be illegal? It was the first time I ever fainted in my life. I bet you did. Once the media company understood the tape they purchased was revenge porn in an extortion scheme, they backed off from broadcasting it. I know they are probably reading this, and I want to say thank you for doing the right thing, even though years later it come back to haunt me again. See, they never thinking about what can happen, because these joints live in the moment. That's the first thing you should be thinking about before doing something like that. And I don't believe you ain't know that was going on, that nigga over there recording, because that's the same dude. I believe he was always recording. Diddy wanted him to record, and he be recording. It took me all day to find the courage to rewatch my abuse. Okay, see, there they go. Now it was all that ooh ah you was doing. It didn't look like that. I'm just saying, right? That's what Cassie was saying until they played them tapes, and they seen her and just looking like she was with it. Having to watch this tape was triggering and painful because only I knew the inner turmoil and pressure I felt in those moments. I was not and was never in my right mind throughout the entirety of that relationship. Seeing myself so lost is excruciating. I just want to hold that girl in the room and get her out of there and tell her that wasn't love. She didn't need to do this for love. My heart is breaking as I type this. They saying love, they want to play the love. We all know it wasn't love, it was money, it was lifestyle, it was a lot of things, right? I wish so many things were different, but I can't take back the hands of time. I can only continue to move forward and slowly learn to love and trust myself again. I want to love and protect myself so much that I'll never come across such a harmful environment again. This is the first time that I have ever felt a part of my own body and that my body belongs to me. I am precious, I am special, I am worthy. This promise to hold true in my heart. For women, I am become. For the woman, I am becoming. For the woman I once loved. Lost. She's a victim now. Girl, well, I don't even know what to tell you. Because these joints, you can't tell them nothing when they doing their thing. They in their prime. They in the mix. They in the club. They hanging with the ballers. They at the parties. They in the hot tub. You can't tell them nothing. Until something like this happens, then they regret everything. Once again, I'm going to tell y'all ladies, man, do not find yourself participating in something like this and think this can never come out and think this is private. Once they push that record button, man, anything can happen, right? And that ain't love at all, man. That ain't love at all. But it's crazy how there's like kind of no accountability there, right? I guess she's blaming everything on love, blaming everything on Diddy, saying she was in the right state of mind, which there might be some truth to that. But At the end of the day, you are an adult. There are plenty of women who, if asked to be recorded like that, will be like, hell no, I'm not doing that. I don't feel comfortable doing that. And I ain't with all that, right? And we keep seeing this happen. Now, like I keep saying, I disagree with niggas putting things like that out there, man. You know, that's foul. If that person didn't consent to that, there's no reason to put that out. Now I gotta look at the story where she's talking about cuz hit her up to get money with a side eye, cause she ain't got no money. What money she got? What he wanted, 5,000? If that was the case, I believe you should have sucked your pride and went and told 50 like, man, look, man, they trying to release this tape. I need a couple bands to make sure this doesn't come out. And I believe as a real nigga, you shouldn't have a problem doing that, right? Now, we know 50 petty. I'm like, nigga, at the end of the day, it doesn't matter what happened with us, how I feel about her or the situation. That is still my child's mother at the end of the day, right? That still makes me look bad at the end of the day. And I wouldn't want nothing out there like that on my baby mama, my child's mother, who got to grow up and deal with something like that, who got to deal with going to school and maybe somebody seeing that, bringing that up. I'm paying that in a heartbeat, right? You know what I'm saying? And hey, I don't know if she reached out to 50, but we know 50 cold. He cold with it, ice cold with it. He probably like, man, shit, that's on you. I don't give a damn. Y'all already know how 50 be. 50 made the statement on this matter, basically saying, look, man, his son is the real victim here. 50's been acting like it has nothing to do with him, even though there's some truth to that. But I also believe it kind of does at the same time, because your name is attached to it. When somebody make the video, they're going to say 50 baby mama Daphne. That's what it's going to be. It's going to be your baby mama. So at the end of the day, regardless if you ain't with your baby mama is still connected to you, right? Things she do is still going to connect to you. Same way with any regular person. If your BM out here selling ass, nigga, that still makes you look bad, right? That's just what it is. And I believe this was one of the reasons why 50 was mad at Diddy the way he was. He ain't rock with Diddy. He was always calling out Diddy. He made the documentary on Diddy, trying to bring Diddy down. I mean, it's understandable, right? But it looks like Shorty's hurt over the situation, man. Like I said, man, these joints got to think about things before they do it. You shouldn't even feel comfortable participating in anything like that. I don't give a damn who desire it is. You know what I'm saying? Let's just be real. Like, look, you like, oh, what you want me to, what? Go ahead and get it in with cuz? Hey, shit. Shoot, you ain't got to tell me twice. Shit, you cool with that? Because most men ain't with that. That shit don't even make no sense, that whole P. Diddy situation. Nigga used to go get grown men to come and have FOs with his girl. And they believed he loved them. They believed that. You believe the nigga with all these different women loved you. I don't believe Diddy was moving like that with his baby mom that passed away. I don't believe he was moving like that with her. You know what I'm saying? But hey, it be like that sometimes, man. I advise against it. I say that should be a no-go. No videos at all. But hey, what do I know? I'm out.